Hi, Gwen.
Hello, how are you, Shirley?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Is Bob McKenna on?
Not yet.
Okay. Tech support, I think we'll wait just one more minute.
Sure.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. How are you, Commissioner?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Surviving the heat.
Chairman.
Yeah. Operating from an undisclosed location.
Good, good. That sounds like vacation.
There you go.
We will wait one more minute. I just want to make sure we still have participants coming in. I can see the meeting.
Received a package recently in your email?
No. Shall I look?
Yes.
Okay.
And Commissioner, you have your.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, you need to start.
I do.
Okay.
I do. When we go to the audience, am I just gonna begin, or is there something else before I begin?
You can begin.
Okay.
So it's 2 after the hour, I believe. Bob, should we get started?
I had a
We
cash.
have
I
on-
just give you a check.
That's good for Marcellus.
So, how much I owe you? This is the third day.
Alderman Burnett, you're not on mute.
Okay.
Am I on mute now?
No.
We hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we wanted to, yeah, you owe me a lot. No.
Yeah, we want to know how much you owe.
Right.
Not a good
Okay.
question.
All right, I think we're ready to start.
Uh,
Commissioner Cox?
Excellent. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, commissioners. I'm Maurice Cox, Commissioner of the Department of Planning and Development. I just wanted to take a moment before the chair formally calls this meeting to order and announce the exciting news that Mayor Lightfoot has appointed Gwendolyn Hatton Butler, the new chair of the Community Development Commission. Ms. Hatton Butler has already served as a commissioner for the past 6 years, and in 2019 was elected by you, her colleagues, to serve as the secretary of the CDC. Ms. Hatton Butler brings more than 35 years of professional real estate investment and finance to a new role, chair. And over her professional career, she's held roles as an independent director of Wells
I can't do this.
Enterprises,
Much of my old.
as the president and chief investment officer of Capri Investment Group, and as managing director for Burns Stearns Asset Management. Ms. Hatton Butler has also served on multiple nonprofit boards, including the YWCA Metropolitan Chicago, Develop Detroit, a not-for-profit real estate developer with a focus on stabilizing mixed income communities, and with the Detroit Public Schools Foundation, among many others. Ms. Hatton Butler is a graduate of the University of Michigan with a Bachelor of Arts in Economics, and received an MBA from the Kellogg School of Management at Northwestern University. I think the city of Chicago is extremely fortunate to have such a qualified professional serving its citizens in this volunteer capacity. We look forward to her leadership in this new role as chair of the CDC, and I know we all look forward to serving with her on this board. And with that, I'd like to turn now the meeting over to our new chair, Gwendolyn Hatton Butler.
You're on mute.
All right, I failed my first role as chair.
Great choice. Goes up from here, right?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon and welcome to the August 10th regular meeting of the Community Development Commission of Chicago. Thank you, Commissioner Cox, for your very kind introduction. Let the record state that I am Gwendolyn Hatton Butler, chair of the CDC and the host of today's virtual meeting. On July 23rd, Governor Pritzker issued Executive Order 2021-15, declaring all counties in the state of Illinois as a disaster area. Section 7 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act allows us, along with other city boards and commissions, to host virtual meetings during this COVID-19 public health emergency, provided that certain conditions are met. One of those conditions is that the chair of this commission determines that an in-person meeting on the scheduled meeting date would not be practical or prudent. To ensure that today's virtual meeting meets all conditions of the Open Meetings Act, I am hereby making the determination pursuant to Section 7E2 of the Act that due to the COVID-19 public health emergency, an in-person meeting would not have been practical or prudent today. Therefore, in accordance with the Commission's emergency rules, this meeting is being held virtually on Zoom and can be viewed live via the Commission's website. A court reporter is present today to record the proceedings. Commissioners, you have all been designated as panelists, which means that you will be able to control your microphone. Please remember to place your microphone on mute unless you need to speak. If you want to be recognized by the chair, please activate the raise your hand feature and you will be called in order. I will now begin the meeting with the call of the roll. Commissioners, when your name is called, please turn your microphone on, respond by saying present, and please also indicate that you can hear me. Vice Chair Newsom.
Present, and I can hear you.
Commissioner Brooks. Commissioner Buford.
Present, and I can hear you.
Commissioner Cepeda. Commissioner Cox.
Present, and I can hear you.
Commissioner Curtis.
Present, and I can hear you.
Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Griggs. Commissioner Rhodes.
I'm here and congratulations.
Commissioner Thomas.
Congratulations, I can hear you and I'm present.
Commissioner Wheat. And Chairman Butler is present. We have a quorum. The first item on our agenda requests approval of the minutes from our previous meeting held on July 13th. The commissioners have had an opportunity to review the minutes, and if there are no corrections, I am looking for a motion to approve. Do I have a motion?
So move, Commissioner Thomas.
So moved by Commissioner Thomas. Do I have a second?
Second, Curtis.
Seconded by Commissioner Curtis. In accordance with the Open Meetings Act, all votes are to be conducted by roll call so that each member's vote on each issue can be identified and recorded. Vice Chair Newsom.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks. Commissioner Buford.
Yes.
Commissioner Cepeda. Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Curtis.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Griggs. Commissioner Rhodes.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Commissioner Wheat. And Chairman Butler votes yes. The motion passes. The public was given an opportunity to provide written comments up to 24 hours prior to the start of this meeting through the CDC email address, which is cdc@cityofchicago.org. There were 11 emails submitted to the CDC mailbox regarding this matter. 6 of these emails provided the same text. So I will read this letter first on behalf of Sang Ayun, Prashad Gohal, Sweta Patel, Mary Levin, Tanya Buxbaum, and Aaron Buxbaum. This is the first email that I will read. The following text was included in Mary Levin's email and was also sent individually by Aaron Buxbaum, Tanya Buxbaum, Prasad Gohal, Sweta Patel, and Sang Ayun. These are letters 3 through 8. I will read that text now. The redevelopment TIF is predicated on the same grounds as 1997. 1, removal of blight. Yet the future of the Chicago Housing Authority's Francis Cabrini row houses is nowhere addressed in Amendment number 2. The majority of the row houses have stood empty, boarded up, and fenced off for many years. The primary purpose of Amendment 2 is, quote, extending the time needed for the Chicago Housing Authority, CHA, to complete the substantial build out of the former site of the Cabrini Green housing complex, end quote, which we understand to mean building on the vacant land. When will there be a plan for dealing with the existing CHA buildings in the TIF? The southern area of the TIF is about to become a lot denser. To the east, there is the JDL North Union project on the former Moody Bible Institute land. To the west, there is the newly announced ONNI Halstead Point development on the former Greyhound site on Goose Island. Between the two, we are looking at a massive increase of 5,100 units of housing in the next decade? How about preserving green space in the middle? Chicago has recently been cited for its lack of, quote, tree equity. Think of the potential of connecting Seward Park to Jesse White Park with an urban forest. The trees continue to air quality and provide a natural retreat for our community of people, pets, and wildlife. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate your service. Letter number 1 from Joanna Donahue. Dear committee, as a resident of 367 West Locust, I see a lot of activity all day long and all year long of people using the green space between the Jesse White Center and Seward Park. One Friday night, I saw 22 people with their dogs at the unofficial dog park at Locust and Sedgwick, families at the playground, and 4 pickup games of basketball at the basketball courts. In the fall weeks, I see huge soccer matches on the grass north of Locust between Hudson to the west and the church to the east. In the school year, I see Walter Payton's sports team practice after school. In the summer and in the school year for after school care, I see other schools in area use the green space for kids to play. On the weekends, I see people having picnics on the open grass. I think it would be a great idea to preserve the green space for parks and recreation. Also, I walk often by the old Cabrini Green Community Center that is all boarded up with ivy on it. I think it would be a great idea to preserve the building and use it in the future. Thank you for my consideration. Second letter from Mary Levine. To whom it may concern, I am writing to voice my opinion and concern over the development of my neighborhood. We are surrounded by rentals, some condos, but enough is enough. We need green space to offset the density of residential space. And while we are on the topic of my neighborhood, we need a major cleanup. Orleans Street is disgusting, trashy, and a public health risk. Please do the responsible and right thing. Make our neighborhood worth living in. Email number 8 from Mark Baker. Good morning. As a homeowner and taxpayer in the affected area and person who 5 years ago made an investment in the area redevelopment by purchasing a home, I would like to briefly share my comments on the following. The proposed is based on the same guidelines as the 1997 redevelopment TIF. Should this not be updated to reflect the changes in the city over the past quarter century? The future of the CHA Francis Cabrini row houses are nowhere addressed, yet they have been shuttered and boarded up for many years. What is going to happen here, and why is the redevelopment taking CHA so long? As community residents, we have heard many proposals, but also hear the ward alderman has been opposed to them. Shouldn't the interest and ongoing development in the area, the future of this property, be a priority? How is the CDC addressing green space? There is significant development coming into the area, and it's important to provide for quality of life areas. The area from Seward Park to Jesse White Park could be envisioned as such a refuge in the urban environment. Once these landscapes can't be replaced, and this impacts not just current, but future generations. Thank you for the opportunity to comment, and we look forward to the commission's ongoing work regarding these issues. Mark Baker on Locust Street. I believe I have read, Bob, the same email from Mary Levine, so perhaps it was sent twice. Email number 10 from Michael Levine, to whom it may concern, please integrate substantial amounts of land for green space. This neighborhood needs it. Thank you, Michael Levine. This is a point of order for the chair. Bob McKenna, can you confirm I've read all of the correspondence we received in the email inbox? Bob, if you're responding, I can't hear you.
Sorry. I think that you did answer or read all of the comments. If not, we can add this as an addendum, or to the minutes, but I think we have all of the comments here.
Great, thank you so much. Okay. The CDC's emergency rules require that any member of the public wishing to comment on an agenda item could do so by registering in advance at the CDC's email mailbox up to 24 hours before the start of today's meeting. We have two individuals who signed up to speak today, both on old business item A. The first speaker will be Martin Starr, and the second speaker will be Arian Brown. Mr. Starr, you have 3 minutes. Please begin.
Thank you very much for the recognition. My name is Martin Starr. I own a unit in the 367 West Locust condominium where I have lived and worked. Our building is located across the street from the Locust and Sedgwick borders of the Tiff project area. I am speaking today on behalf of the SL Condominium Association, whose board has authorized my statement. My first point relates to the purposes of the TIF. The redevelopment TIF has the same stated grounds as the 1997 one, which is the removal of blight. Yet the future of the Chicago Housing Authority's Francis Cabrini row houses is nowhere addressed in Amendment number 2. The majority of the row houses have stood empty, boarded up, and fenced off for many years. The primary purpose of Amendment number 2 is to extend the time needed for the CHA to complete the build out of the former Cabrini Green site, which we have understood to mean building new residents on the vacant land. We'd like to know when there will be a plan for dealing with the existing CHA buildings in the TIF project area. My second point is regarding the need for open space in the TIF project area. The southern neighborhood of the TIF is about to become a lot more densely populated. To the east, there's the JDL North Union project on the former Moody Bible Institute land along Wells Street. To the west, there is the newly announced Omni Halsted project, a Halsted Point development on the former Greyhound site at the southern end of Goose Island. Between the two, we are facing a massive increase of 5,100 units of housing in the next decade. How about considering preserving the existing green space in the middle? Chicago has recently been cited in a national study for its lack of what has been termed tree equity. Think of the potential of connecting Seward Park to Jesse White Park with an urban forest. The trees contribute to air quality and provide a natural retreat for our community of people, pets, and wildlife. I would ask the CDC to work together with the neighborhood to keep Cabrini green. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Starr, for your remarks. Mr. Brown, you may begin.
Chairwoman, I don't see any Mr. Brown.
Is Arian Brown attending the meeting? Okay, we will move forward with the agenda items. For the staff presentations on each of today's agenda items, we may have individuals representing the development teams to help answer the commission's questions. They will be introduced by the staff presenting the report. The first item is old business item A, the proposed near North Tiff redevelopment project area amendment number 2. Second Ward 2, Alderman Walter Burnett Jr., and Ward 27, Alderman Brian Hopkins. Commissioners, before we go any further into our regular meeting agenda, Our first item of old business requires us to recess from our regular CDC meeting in order to hold a required public hearing for a proposed amendment to an existing TIF. Specifically, the Department of Planning and Development will be requesting approval of amendment number 2 to the redevelopment plan for the Near North Tax Increment Financing Redevelopment Project area and is seeking public comment. The TIF amendment process requires the public hearing on this matter. So we will now recess from the Community Development Commission meeting in order to hold the public hearing on the matter of the proposed amendment number 2 for the Near North TIF. Ryan Slattery will present the staff report on behalf of the Department of Planning and Development.
Thank you, Chair Butler.
So Crystal is running the RDA.
Good afternoon, Chair Butler, Vice Chair Newsome, and CDC Commissioners. For the record, my name is Ryan Slattery. I'm a project manager with the Department of Planning and Development. I'm here today with Ann Maroney and Ralph Kinsler from Johnson Research Group, the TIF consultants for the TIF amendment. Also for me today to help answer questions is Alam Clory from the Chicago Housing Authority and Anna Booth from the Department of Housing. Why are we here? The main purpose for why we're here today to extend the TIF district for an additional 12 years is to allow for the continued redevelopment of the former Cabrini Green CHA housing to compete substantial build out of the publicly owned lands within the project area. Additional actions to the plan include amending the termination date, revising the budget, updating the land use plan, and minor changes to the plan language. The Near North TIF is generally bounded by North Avenue to the north, Wells Street to the east, Chicago Avenue to the south, and the North Branch Chicago River to the west. The TIF was created July 30th of 1997 as a blighted area. The city received state authority to extend the life of the TIF district in May of 2020. Here we have the general land use plan for the TIF district as it relates to the current zoning within the properties. So each TIF district has a list of goals and objectives. For Near North, the main goals include promoting the development of low and moderate income residential development, stimulating private investment, facilitating assembly and preparation for projects, and improving infrastructure, mass transit, and public facilities. So here's just a handful of projects that have received TIF funding. Northtown Village received $5.1 million to construct 145 multifamily residential units, 40 of which comprise of affordable units. River Village Site G received $5 million to construct 102 condominiums, 23 which are affordable units. The Lakefront Supportive Housing received $1 million in TIF grant to construct a 33,000 square foot, 5-story single room occupancy projects that house 96 units, all of which are affordable. Next, we have the park site of Old Town 1, where they received $8.8 million of TIF funding to construct 263 residential units, 86 of which are affordable. And then also we have Parkside 2B rental project, which received almost $10 million of TIF funding for the construction of 106 rental units. 63 of those are affordable units. For Clybourne and Division, that project received $8.1 million of TIF funds for construction of 84 rental units, 52 of which are affordable. And then finally, we have 2 Park District IGAs that received TIF funding for the Stanton Park at $2 million and then the Seward Park at $4 million. So here's the amended budget. By adding 12 years to the TIF district, it results in an additional increment that wasn't projected when the TIF was created. So here's the updated budget. The original total redevelopment project cost was $281 million. Of that, the city so far has allocated $255 million for projects. A note for the budget, the line item dollar figure for each category are for planning purposes. The only figure that cannot change without city council approval is the total redevelopment project cost line item. There are 3 sites that are in the current phases for the CHA. They're outlined in yellow. You can see there's one here. two of which are of development teams and are presently moving forward. The Oak and Larrabee site at the southeast corner of Larrabee and Oak Street will create approximately 139 mixed income rental units. The Clybourne and Larrabee area, or the near North High School site, is anticipated to produce roughly 485 mixed income rental units or mixed income units over 4 or 5 phases. The other site at Halsted Division doesn't currently have a development team, but is a part of the current phase. The other sites outlined in the blue are part of future phases of development for CHA, and they could use Tiff as a resource. The Chicago Park District is also in the process of constructing a new park at the near North High School site, just north at the north end of the Tiff district. So this slide shows the next steps in the process. As you can see in bold, we're here at the CEC public hearing. The next step, if approved, we move to introduce at the TIF amendment at the September City Council meeting, which then be sent to the Finance Committee and City Council approval in October. As required by the Illinois Tax Increment Redevelopment Act, notices regarding the proposed destination in today's meeting were published in the Chicago Tribune and mailed to all residential addresses within the proposed project area. The plan was filed with the city clerk and made available to the public on May 27th. Notices of the plan availability were also sent via mail to residents, taxing districts, all registered interested parties, as well as residents within 750 feet of the boundary on June 11th. The proposed designation was presented to the community at a public meeting on May 26th via Zoom. 100 people attended the community meeting. At the meeting, components of the plan were presented to the community by members of the Department of Planning and Development and Alderman Burnett, all of whom answered questions regarding the TIF and the amendment process. A joint review board of the taxing districts met on July 8th to review the proposed TIF districts. Alderman Burnett is here today, and he is supportive of the TIF amendment. Based on a review of the amended plan, the Department of Planning and Development recommends that the Community Development Commission take the following action as embodied in the attached resolution. To recommend the City Council of the City of Chicago approve Amendment Number 2 to the Near North Tax Increment Financing Redevelopment Project and Plan. At this time, we're happy to answer any questions the commissioners may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. I'd like to first begin by recognizing that Commissioner Leslie Davis has been participating in the meeting for a while and is present. I'd like to recognize Alderman Burnett. Alderman Burnett, if you would like to make comments.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And first of all, I want to congratulate you on your new position. Thank you for your civic duty. I know the city don't pay a lot to be in these positions, but and I'm also very impressed with your resume. I didn't know you were that smart. My God, you're a very smart lady. Very impressive resume. And it's funny how, you know, all you Detroit people are starting to come together. I'm trying to figure out, is that planned or what? What's going on with that? But anyway, we'll leave that alone. But so this TIF is very important. Many years ago, over 25 years ago, we made a commitment to the people over in the Cabrini Green area, for which I'm a native of, that if we were to tear down the buildings, we get them an opportunity to come back. In the process of tearing down the buildings, for which we had a challenging time in getting the buildings down because some of the residents were suing the city to not tear the buildings down. In the process of tearing those buildings down, it allowed for all of these other residents to move to the community and to experience an increase in their property value and to make a lot of money. So right now, all of the green space that they're referring to in the area is CHA's property. There used to be thousands of units of housing, much more density that is going to go back into this area than it was at that time. That used to be there in Cabrini Green. Myself, planning, and CHA chose to bring back housing to this property with much lower density, almost more than 50%, but also to make it a mixed income property with affordable market rate and CHA property on these properties. We would not be able to do this mixed income if we did not have the resources of the TIF in order to be able to do it, and along with the market rate housing in order to be able to do it. As I mentioned to residents at the meeting that we had, because a lot of residents, for some reason, appear to not want us to extend the TIF because they don't want more residential built back on CHA's property. What I expressed to them is that this is CHA's property. CHA really could just put all CHA back on their property. They do not have to put market rate or affordable housing on their property. I would say this, if CHA was to come to me and say that, okay, we can't get money in order to subsidize this development, in order to make this happen, we need to put our housing back on this property. My commitment to this community is that you can put your housing back on this property, and I would support that. But thankfully, we do have a means of subsidizing these projects and bringing mixed income back to this community and helping and allowing folks to live in a much better community in a nice mixture of a neighborhood and enhance the quality of life for everyone, not just the residents who used to live in CHA, but also the residents who never lived over there, who bought a property for a decent price because they moved to an area where CHA was, and now their property values are going up substantially. So I'm in full support of this. This is not only going to benefit the residents of Cabrini Green or the former CHA residents, it's going to benefit residents who need affordable housing, but also is going to benefit those residents who already own over there, because nothing has happened over here that did not enhance their property values. When these things first happened, lots were going for $10,000 in this community. You cannot buy a lot for under $600,000 or $700,000 in this neighborhood by a 25 by 125 lot. Houses are going for over $1 million in this community. Everything that we have done here with helping to mix this community up has done nothing but enhance the quality of life for everyone, not just the CHA residents, not just the affordable residents, but also, most of all, probably the biggest beneficiary of all of this are the market rate people in this community. So I support this. Now, as the commissioners to support this, as far as the green space goes, we're making more green space. We bought the New North High School, we're making green space there, and we're incorporating green space in all these developments. So I ask the committee, please don't allow for folks' hopes of enhancing themselves, but leaving other people behind who gave them an opportunity to move to their community to stop this TIF from being extended. So I ask for everyone's support, and I thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Burnett, for your remarks. Is Alderman Hopkins present? Or is anyone from Alderman Hopkins' office present and would like to make comments? If not, point of order for Bob McKenna again. I have previously read the written statements presented by the public into the record. Do I need to read them again at this point?
Sorry, I was on mute. No, you don't.
All right, thank you so much. Ryan Slattery will respond to questions regarding the TIF amendment now. And Ryan, if there's any other government staff available that you would like to introduce at this point who may answer commissioner questions.
Yeah, also with us today is Anna Booth from the Department of Housing and Alam Kahori from CHA.
Great, thank you and
Thank you.
welcome. I see that Commissioner Thomas has her hand raised. Commissioner Thomas, please begin with your questions.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. My question is regarding The time of the first amendment, since this is amendment number 2, it looks like it was in 1999. Is that when the budget was 280 million? Because it's now 921 million. Is that, the more than 20 years of, 20 years of, almost, 20 years of budget changes?
Yeah, so far, we've allocated $255 million within the Near North TIF. Really, when the TIF starts generating money is at the end of the life of the TIF, between the 20 to 23 years. So when we're adding the additional 12 years to it, there's a substantial amount more money that ends up being allocated, or that ends up being put into the TIF investment fund.
Yes, I understand that.
Sorry.
But the First Amendment, was it in 1999
Correct.
at 281 million?
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Commissioner Thomas. Commissioner Rhodes?
I don't have a question. I just have a comment that I was at the CHA when this was all coming together and was responsible for doing the pretty pictures of everything that could come to fruition. And it's just amazing today to drive through that neighborhood and see everything that resulted from those efforts and resulted from this TIF. So I want to echo Alderman Burnett's sentiments that the intention originally was that the residents of public housing and the residents of the community and the community to come were to be accommodated, and the point was to create a community in which people could live together peacefully and productively. And I think that's really been the result of the TIF. So I would strongly urge folks to consider extending it, because it's really served its purpose in a really dramatic way, and I think it should be allowed to continue.
Thank you, Commissioner Rhodes, for your remarks. Commissioner Thomas? Your hand is raised.
Yes, Madam Chairman. I meant to also add and echo Rhodes, and that I commend Alderman Burnett for keeping to his goal. The goal so many years ago was to bring residents back and cross housing, low income, middle, and the housing that's there. And I think that's the best way for people to live. And I just commend him on the goal of keeping his goals so many years ago. And what they promised there, he's still trying to do. Congratulations to that, Alderman Burnett. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioner Newsom?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I would like to echo both Commissioner Thomas and Commissioner Rhodes. As a part of the transformation process from the beginning as well, and actually residing in a transformation community, I too want to commend Alderman Burnett for keeping his word to the residents. That is a statement that I so often make in various meetings. It is important, if we are going to continue to transform various other community areas in the city of Chicago, that when we make promises to residents, particularly residents who have been there for years and years and years and consider these communities their home, that we keep our commitment to them. And I must say that while it was initially more or less described as a quote experiment, it has really and truly turned out to be more than an experiment. It is actually a testament to what can be done if people work together, if in fact people keep their commitments, and if in fact the residents at all levels are heard and are a part of the ongoing process. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Newsom. Commissioner Cox?
Yes, I just wanted to offer a thought about, what we're seeing here. And it just reminds me, that so the are built over years. And we have here the unusual opportunity to get this right and to truly build a mixed income neighborhood for the city of Chicago. You know, the certain TIFs were written specifically to support the construction of affordable housing. And I have found during my time here that it's access to TIF dollars that are often making the difference, the kind of qualitative difference to elevate affordable housing to a level that all of us are proud of. And so it's just a fact. CHA cannot do it alone. These TIF dollars are key. So if we're ever going to reach, you know, the beloved community that was the promise of this initiative, it's through extension, amending this near north TIF. So I certainly appreciate the support and I appreciate the, I don't know, stick-to-itiveness of Alderman Burnett, who has watched this over decades now and has, you know, is fulfilling his commitment, the promise that he made. But this is the way, this is the correct use of TIF to achieve the kind of community that I think we're all seeking to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Cox. Do other commissioners have questions? If there are no further questions or comments by the commissioners, we will now adjourn the public hearing and reopen the regular CDC meeting. Having reopened the CDC meeting, I will now call for a vote. The resolution before us recommends to the City Council of the City of Chicago the approval of Amendment Number 2 to the Near North TIF. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Madam Chair, Vice Chair Newsom.
So moved by Vice Chair Newsom. Do I have a second?
Second, Thomas.
Seconded by Commissioner Thomas. I will now call the roll. In accordance with the Open Meetings Act, all votes are to be conducted by roll call so that each member's vote on each issue can be identified and recorded. Please signify your vote on approval of the motion by saying yes, no, or abstain. Vice Chair Newsom.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks. Commissioner Buford.
Yes.
Commissioner Cepeda. Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Curtis.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
Enthusiastically, yes.
Commissioner Griggs. Commissioner Rhodes.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Commissioner Wheat. And Chairman Butler votes yes. The motion is carried.
Thank you, commissioners.
Congratulations, Alderman Burnett and Alderman Hopkins. The next agenda item is new business item A, 67th and Wentworth TIF redevelopment project area, Ward 6, Alderman Roderick Sawyer. For our first item of new business, the Department of Planning and Development is requesting authority to advertise the department's intention to enter into a negotiated sale with Rainier Perry LLC for the disposition of properties located at 6903 through 6911 South Perry Avenue in the 67th and Wentworth Tax Increment Financing Redevelopment Project area, to request alternative proposals and to approve the sale of the property to Rainier Perry LLC if no responsive alternative proposals are received. Lisa Washington will present the staff report on behalf of the Department of Planning and Development. Thank you, Lisa.
Good afternoon, Chair and members of the Commission. Again, for the record, I am Lisa Washington, and the transaction before you is for the sale of 4 pens located at 6903 through 11 South Perry Avenue which is located in the Southeast Planning Region, 6th Ward, Greater Grand Crossing Community, as well as within an enterprise zone number 6. The proposed developer for this property is LLC Rainey Perry. This is a partnership between Sanjay Katal and Mr. Varja Patel. Please forgive me. They're both here today, as well as their consultant, Neil Helene, to speak to this project. Forgive me if I pronounced your names incorrectly. Again, it's 4 pens that are currently vacant. The total project square footage of the area is approximately 22,000 square feet. The appraised value of the property is $131,000. They are not requesting any assistance with this project, which is to develop and build a 1-story Dunkin' Donuts store. The total project cost is approximately $1.5 million. Here is a land use map showing where the property is located, which is highlighted in red. As depicted, there are 2 pens that are currently zoned C1-2, and the remaining pens are RS-3. This is a map depicting where the property is located in reference of the 67th and Wentworth Tiff. Here's an aerial just to give you some context of the neighborhood. Just east to the site is a current McDonald's restaurant, residential to the west, north, and south of the site along 69th Street. Here's what it looks like currently today. Currently, this is the site plan in which they're planning to, how they plan to landscape and lay out the project. Here is after some discussion, getting additional landscaping and vegetation on the site. The floor plan. And here is an elevation. This is the north elevation that will be fronting that street, showing what the 1-story would look like. This is the elevation, west elevation along Perry Street. So this project is deemed to create 10 permanent full-time jobs, 10 to 12 part-time jobs, and approximately 75 construction jobs. They are committed to the 26 MBE and 6 WBE for this project. Again, this conforms with the 67th and Wentworth redevelopment area. Project area tax increment finance district. Again, the city is requesting that CDC gives approval for us to advertise the city's intent to sell this land to Rainey Perry LLC. And if no other alternative proposals are submitted, then we will move forward with the sale of this property to Rainey Perry LLC for the development of a 1-story Dunkin' Donuts restaurant. Again, Mr. Patel and Mr. Katu are here to speak on this project. We do have a letter on record from Alderman Sawyer. I don't know if he was able to join us. So we hope that the CDC Commission would approve and recommend this transaction.
Thank you, Lisa. I'd like to recognize Alderman Roderick Sawyer if he's on the line or if there's someone from his office who would like to make a statement. And as Lisa Washington mentioned, to help answer questions from the development team, we have Neil Helene, Sanjeev Katu, and Bharat Patel. Once again, I apologize if I have mispronounced your names. Commissioners, do we have any questions for the department or the developers? Commissioner Curtis?
I just had two quick questions. Thank you, Chairman. The first is, how long has that property been vacant?
It has been vacant for a number of years. We have PIN 001 and PIN 002. We received it in 1963. PIN 003 and 038, we received in our inventory in 1995. Since 1951, the site has been either a parking lot or vacant.
Good enough.
Okay.
And my second question is, I just wanted to confirm this was strictly for the Dunkin' Donuts, correct? There's nothing else going on that property.
Nothing else but a Dunkin' Donuts.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Newsom.
Madam Chair, I believe the question that I was about to ask was just answered by Lisa. Technically, the property has been vacant for many, many years, and it looks like from 1988 until the present, the portion that was occupied by housing has been vacant. And so, well, it's about time that something be constructed on the site. My second question that I wanted to ask of the developer, saying that he has developed the 25 plus Dunkin' Donuts in the city of Chicago and Detroit. Are two of those Dunkin' Donuts located in the Bronzeville community area?
Is there someone from the development team that can respond to Commissioner Newsom's question?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
We are sorry, what's the question?
The question was, you operate 25 plus Dunkin' Donuts throughout the city of Chicago, as well as Dunkin' Donuts located in Detroit. My question was, do you operate two of those Dunkin' Donuts in the Bronzeville community area?
No, ma'am, we do not have to.
Can you introduce yourself, please, for purposes of the record?
I'm sorry, my name is Sanjeev Katal. I apologize, my voice is kind of hoarse, but I'll do my best. But we do not operate the location on 35th and King. That's not ours, but we operate primarily, well, not primarily, solely in the south side of Chicago.
Commissioner Newsom, does that answer your question?
It answers a portion of my question, yes. Thank you.
Are there other questions from the commissioners? Okay, seeing that there are no other questions or comments from the commissioners, we will now call the item for a vote. The resolution before us requests authority for the Department of Planning and Development to advertise the department's intention to enter into a negotiated sale with Raina Perry LLC for the disposition of properties located at 6903 through 6911 South Perry Avenue in the 67th and Wentworth Tax Increment Financing Redevelopment Project area, to request alternative proposals and to approve the sale of the property to Raina Perry LLC if no responsive alternative proposals are received. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Curtis.
So moved by Commissioner Curtis. Do I have a second?
Second, Thomas.
Seconded by Commissioner Thomas. I will now call the roll. Vice Chair Newsom.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks. Commissioner Buford.
Yes.
Commissioner Cepeda. Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Curtis.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
Yes.
Commissioner Griggs. Commissioner Rhodes.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Commissioner Wheat. And Chairman Butler votes yes. The motion is carried.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is new business item B, Chicago Central Park Redevelopment Project Area. For our last item of new business, the Department of Planning and Development is requesting authority to advertise the department's intention to enter into a negotiated sale with Breakthrough Urban Ministries for the property located at 3346 to 3348 West Carroll Avenue in the Chicago Central Park redevelopment project area, to request alternative proposals and to approve the sale of the property to Breakthrough Urban Ministries if no responsive alternative proposals are received. Michael Perella will present the staff report on behalf of the Department of Planning and Development.
Thank you. Just a moment while I bring up the report or the presentation. Can you see the presentation?
We can see it, and not the full screen though.
Okay, let me try something else. Okay.
Here we go.
All right, wonderful. Good morning, Chairman and members of the Commission. For the record, my name is Michael Perella. I'm a project manager with the Department of Planning and Development. DPD is requesting the Community Development Commission recommend approval of a resolution authorizing a market rate land sale with environmental escrow agreement for the disposition of city-owned property at 3346 to 48 West Carroll Avenue to the developer Breakthrough Urban Ministries, Inc., so that they may construct the Breakthrough Family Housing Project, which is a 14-unit, 2 and 3 bedroom unit residential complex serving homeless families. With me today is John Smith of Breakthrough Urban Ministries, Yolanda Fields of Breakthrough Urban Ministries, and members of the developers team. The site of the market rate land sale is located in the East Garfield Park neighborhood and the Chicago Central Park Tiff. It is located in the 20th Ward, and Jason Urban is the alderman. The city-owned property is located just east of Homan Avenue in the northwest corner of the East Garfield Park neighborhood. It sits south of the Union Pacific Railroad tracks and the George Westinghouse College Prep facility, which is immediately to the north of the tracks and then the site. The city-owned parcels are shown here in red, and they total approximately 8,000 square feet. When combined with 4 parcels immediately to the east of the city-owned site, shown in yellow, they'll be combined to create a 32,000 square foot project site. Within the context of the project site, again shown here in the box in red, you see primarily 2 and 3 flat buildings, all made of brick, and converted industrial warehouses, as well as several vacant lots. The developer, Breakthrough Urban Ministries, has been active in the neighborhood for over just about 30 years. They are an anti-poverty organization whose mission is to serve men, women, and children in the areas of education and youth development, healthcare and wellness, workforce development, violence prevention, housing, and spiritual enrichment. Their mission is singularly focused on a 40-block area around some of the properties you see listed here in the East Garfield Park neighborhood, which is the 40-block zone is Franklin Ave to the north, California to the east, Madison Ave to the south, and Central Park Ave to the west. They're targeting their programs within that area to combat poverty. They currently operate several facilities in the area, including a women's shelter and food pantry immediately east of the project site, a men's shelter just west of the project site, and the Breakthrough Family Plex, which is down the street from the project site on Carroll Avenue. The Family Plex is a unique development which consists of a preschool, academies for grades K through 12, an employment center, a health clinic, cafe, a sports fitness center, and many amenities that their residents can take advantage of. As stated, the developer desires to construct the Breakthrough Family Housing Project on the city-owned land and the land that they currently own. And again, it's a 14-unit development featuring 2 and 3 bedroom units that are targeted towards homeless families. The project will provide on-site amenities such as a lounge space, laundry, childcare facility, exercise room, party room, and an outdoor, semi-outdoor kind of enclosed playground space, as well as 14 parking spaces and a community garden. The units themselves will be 100% affordable. Families will sign 1-year leases, and they're committed to not paying more than 30% of their income towards rent. And in the cases where they do not have any income, they'll accept 0 rent. The project is entirely privately financed. through $7.5 million in grants, primarily from the Grusecki Family Foundation. So when the developer approached us to build the project, we obtained an appraisal for the land, which showed our land was worth $52,000. The developer agreed to pay market rate for this land. However, a previous phase 2 had shown that there is a significant environmental contamination on site, including lead and other harmful chemicals. As a result, the city agreed to help finance the remediation of the site. And what we will do is provide it at the time of closing, we will escrow the sale price, the $52,000, into a joint escrow account, which the developer can use to help cover a portion of the remediation costs. The Department of Assets Information Services will manage the account for the city, and they must approve all expenses. The estimated cost of the expenses is approximately $25,000. Any remaining funds in the escrow account after the remediation has been completed will go back to the city. And just to show you all some of the plans for the site, here we have the site plan showing the playground facilities and community gardens and parking. And here you see the first floor on the right and the second floor, upper floor plans, second and third floor on the left, showing the second and third floors consisting of the family units, and the first floor being the amenity space, as I discussed earlier, along with additional playgrounds as well. The department worked hard to create a contextual design that fits in with the surrounding neighborhood, that is primarily a brick facade, and is meant to highlight some of the fine brickwork that you see in the vintage buildings in the neighborhood itself. And here you can see the project in context of the neighborhood once it is constructed. Therefore, the department recommends that the Community Development Commission approve a resolution for the market rate land sale with environmental escrow to Breakthrough Urban Ministries for the disposition of city-owned parcels at 3346 to 48 West Carroll Avenue. Alderman Irvin has expressed his support for this project, has provided a letter of support, which you can find in the staff report packet. And he may be here today to provide testimony, but if not, we do have his letter of support. I thank you for your time and can field any questions you may have.
Thank you so much, Michael. I'd like to recognize Alderman Jason Irvin if he is on, or someone from his office, if they would like to speak. If not, to help answer questions from the development team, we have Yolanda Fields and John Smith from Breakthrough Urban Ministries, and their architects, Jordan Wankel and Goran Simic from Deconstruct Architecture. Are there questions from the commission? Commissioner Newsom.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I have a couple of questions I'd like to direct to the developers. My understanding is that you will possibly have a population that you will be providing zero rent to. Is there a specific period that this zero rent applies? Or is it until your workforce development assists them in finding employment? And if there is not a specific time frame here, what happens after that 1 year lease that they sign?
This is John Smith from Breakthrough. So each of our tenants will sign a 1 year lease. We'll perform a rent calculation that will assess the rent at no more than 30% of their adjusted income. In the event that somebody does not have revenue or does not have income, that first year term will be $0 pending future. Typically, we update the annual rent the rent calculations as people either obtain employment or on an annual basis, whichever is more frequent. But each resident will be working alongside a case manager who will provide access to our employment team and others other members of our adult support network team. After that first year, each lease will be subject to renewal, and it'll depend on our ability to continue providing, subsidized rent for that unit, as well as their ability to continue to work in the program.
Commissioner Newsom, is there a follow-up question?
I guess there is a follow-up question. I'm aware of homeless individuals that you would possibly serve that would perhaps never be in a position to be actually employed. Do you take in this kind of individual? And again, if so, after that year's lease, do you reevaluate and determine that this person cannot, in fact, be gainfully employed, and you direct them elsewhere, or you continue to make provisions for them to remain in your facility?
This facility is
Sorry,
primarily.
could you?
Yeah, sorry. This is John Smith again from Breakthrough. This facility is for homeless families and not specifically individuals. We do maintain 43 or 44 units of scattered site permanent supportive housing for individuals who are either chronically homeless or unable to work or gain an income. We also work with CHA for 11 families that are also kind of our voucher holders. We provide supportive services for those 11 family units as well. So if somebody is not a fit for this program, we have other resources to refer them.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Newsom. Commissioner Rhodes?
Yeah, I have two questions. The per unit cost here seems fairly high, and the design doesn't seem very elaborate. So I'm wondering, you've got a $500,000 unit construction cost and $700 total development cost. So I'm curious about why it costs so much. And then I'm also wondering, from the city's perspective, because they're paying for the land, they're not held to the 2026 and 6. Is that factual?
I'll field the first question. Yes, that's correct. Given that it's a market rate land sale, we're doing it through as a deed sale transaction. They'll have to, prove they're going to complete the project through a fully permitted project, a remedial action plan, and proof of financing at time of closing. But we don't have the normal, not normal, but we're not monitoring as we would a negotiated sale.
So is there an RDA for it?
It would be a deed sale.
So if they don't do what they've said they're going to do, what's your recourse?
Well, again, the condition of the sale is that they construct the project as proposed. So, we have trust in the organization and their mission and their history that they will follow through on their commitments in terms of the long-term, use of this site. But we will not sell them the land if another project is proposed at the time of closing. And if it is, we can hold them in default.
Okay. So then I'm curious about the all-in development cost per unit.
This is John Smith from Breakthrough. The numbers in the presentation are preliminary, and hopefully worst case scenario, we are still working to identify our final general contractor and identify the final pricing. We do have at this point at least $5 million or $5.5 million committed to the project from individual donors. I would say that the project costs are slightly higher because the first floor is full amenities. So that does kind of gross up the cost. There's also quite a bit of green space on the land, and the construction materials, while it may not look fully, may not look all that elaborate. If you're talking about a fully masonry building, especially given today's market, we think that the estimate is reasonable, if not on the high side.
Commissioner Rhodes, additional questions?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Rhodes. Are there other questions from the commission? Commissioner Newsom?
Just for clarity, Madam Chairman, my understanding is that we're selling Breakthrough this land as it is, but we're assisting actually in the remediation. Is that correct?
Would the department like to confirm
You
that?
know, that's correct. Maybe that's a bit of a misnomer. Again, our expectation is that, or an expectation, written in the deed would be the fact that there needs to be an NFR letter prior to occupancy of this building. So the site essentially needs to be fully remediated. But again, with the city, it feels it's justified to assist in the incremental costs of the remediation in order to facilitate the actual redevelopment project.
Commissioner Newsom, are there additional questions? And are there?
No, Madam Chair, thank you.
Thank you. Are there questions from the commission? If not, I will call the item for a vote. The resolution before us requests authority for the Department of Planning and Development to advertise the department's intention to enter into a negotiated sale with Raina Perry LLC for the disposition of properties located at 6903 through 6911 South Perry Avenue in the 67th and Wentworth Tax Increment Finance and Redevelopment area, to request alternative proposals and to approve the sale of the property to Raina Perry LLC. I'm sorry, this is not right. Okay. I'm going to ad-lib here because my notes are not right. All right, so we are requesting approval to enter into a resolution to enter into negotiated sale with Breakthrough Urban Ministries for the property located at 3346 to 3348 West Carroll Avenue in the Chicago Central Park redevelopment project area, to request alternative proposals and to approve the sale of the property to Breakthrough Urban Ministries if no responsive alternative proposals are received. Do I have a motion?
So moved by Commissioner Cox.
Thank you, Commissioner Cox. Do I have a second?
Second, Commissioner Rhodes.
Thank you, Commissioner Rhodes. I will now call the roll. This is the sale of property to Breakthrough Urban Ministries. Vice Chair Newsom.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks. Commissioner Buford.
Yes.
Commissioner Cepeda. Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Curtis.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
Yes.
Commissioner Griggs. Commissioner Rhodes.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Commissioner Wheat. And Chairman Butler votes yes. The motion is carried. I would now like to request a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Thomas.
So moved by Commissioner Thomas. Do I have a second?
Second, Chairman, Vice Chair Newsom.
Thank you, Vice Chair Newsom. All in favor signify by saying yes.
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 Yeah.
Anybody opposed to adjourning?
I don't think so.
All right. Commissioner Cox, enjoy your vacation.
Thanks so much.
The yeas have it. The meeting is adjourned. Everyone have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good job, Chairman.